Hey up. How you doing? It's me, Big Juffer. I've done a few vids recently and a few people have said, Big Juffer, you're a god at shoot 'em ups. Actually, nobody says that. But people say, Big Juffer, you're an old man, 51, but you're still fairly good at shoot 'em ups. Why don't you do a how-to video to show people how to be good at video games? I thought, yeah, that's a really good idea, if a bit up my own arse. But I thought, if I don't show people how to be good at video games, but how not to be bad at video games, that's less up my own arse, isn't it? So I thought I'd give it a go. So the first video I'm going to do isn't a shoot 'em up, it's Pacman. Because, and you're going to love this, I hated Pacman for probably the first 30 years it was in existence. And it took a bit of time getting to learn it, getting to know how it works. And now I absolutely love it. So either call it Pacman or Fuckman if you like watching Scott Pilgrim. But I'm going to give you a little how to not be bad at Pacman video. Good, isn't it? Why don't you join me? Or not, I'm not your dad. But if I am your dad and you can't score more than 20,000 points on Pacman, then you should fucking join me. Anyway, I'm going to turn my video off. Be the next part of the video. So now we've got the niceties out of the way, it's time to go on with the main video. And this isn't going to turn you into Billy Mitchell. You're not going to grow a mullet and be fantastic and get a perfect score. You're not going to get a film made about you. But if you struggled in the past to get over, say, 20k, you can easily get past 150k using the tips in this little video. So we're going to be concentrating on roots. And roots will get you to 100,000 easily, as long as you're using the original arcade ROM. Roots don't work on other versions like the NES version. The roots don't work the same. Some conversions are pretty good though. I think it's the Atari 7800 version, which is pretty good. And you can still get away with using the roots on there. So there are 3 routes that you need to get you through the game. The first route works only on stage 1. And that's the one I've got on screen at the moment. And you can see I've tried to highlight it as best I can, which is the route. It basically takes you to your first power pill. And then you're kind of on your own a little bit, but it works, gets you through. So we'll go to that in more detail. The second route, which I've just displayed now on screen, works on stages 2, 3 and 4 only. So this gets you again to the first power pill, and then after that you can work the rest out yourself. It's not too hard to finish off where to go. And the third route works from stage 5 onwards. It looks massively complicated, but we're going to break it down into little bits anyway, so you don't need to look at this and think, oh, you know. But if you look at this and print it off and then play your own game, you can see you can follow the line basically. And I've tried where there is an overlap and we go down the same tunnel a few times. I've tried to differentiate where they are on the map so you can follow it easier. But before we get to all that, we need to go through just a couple more bits and bobs to get you into it. So don't worry, you're not expected to learn those routes straight off just by looking at that on the screen. I'm going to give you slow motion replays and all sorts of goodness. And honestly, it looks complicated. It's not. It's a piece of piss to learn. If I can learn it, anybody can. So before we get to the routes, there's other things you need to know about the ghosts and how they behave. So there's different ghost AI for each of the ghosts that we'll go through. There are different ghost modes, and they have 3 states they can be in. And there's also no entry gates for ghosts where they can't go through certain areas. And it's quite handy if they're chasing you to lose one through one of the no entry gates. I always want to say no entry ghosts or no entry goats, so I've done it all right. So the ghosts, they have different modes of behavior and they alternate between scatter mode and chase mode. And they basically alternate between those modes 4 times per map before they constantly just go into chase mode. Chase mode is exactly that. They will just chase you around the map based on their AI, which we're going to come to in a minute. And scatter mode. And when they're in scatter mode, it's the only time the ghost can reverse direction. So every other time they can only continue going forwards. As soon as they go into scatter mode, they will change direction where they're going and try and get to their relative corners. So that means that the orange one will try and get to the bottom left corner. The blue one will try and get to the bottom right corner. The red one will try and get to the top right corner. And the pink one will try and get to the top left corner. So it generally happens every 20 seconds to start with, where they'll alternate between chase mode and scatter mode. So you've got to try and work out how close you are to scatter mode. If they're right behind you, they might just scatter and go for the corners and you can relax. So when they're not in scatter mode and they are in chase mode, they have 4 distinct patterns of behaviour. The red one is an absolute twat and will just make a beeline for your square that you're on, and it will recalculate that every time it changes a tile. So every time it moves from one square to another, it will say, where are you? And it'll try and aim for you and get you. Horrible. The pink one is slightly more, what's the word? It tries to be more predictive, and it looks 4 tiles ahead of you. So it'll look in it wherever you are, it'll have a target square 4 tiles in front of the direction you're facing and aim for that square, unless Pacman's facing upwards. If he's facing upwards, instead of being directly 4 tiles above Pacman, it'll be 4 tiles above and 4 tiles to the left. So if you're going up and he's coming down, he'll try and get out your way to try and get to the tile. And you can play a game of chicken with him, because if you aim for him and as he moves into the tile in front of you, he'll calculate, hang on, my target square is 3 squares behind where I'm headed for. It will try and loop out the way to get to the square behind him. So you can exploit that a little bit. The blue one is really hard to explain, and it's basically two squares in front of Pacman with a line drawn through where the red one is, and then slightly in front of that. Basically, it's really difficult. I'll try and draw a picture of it to explain it. And the orange one is the easiest one to explain at all. If he's more than 8 tiles away, he will be exactly the same as the red one. If he's within 8 tiles away, he will go into scatter mode and try and get into the bottom left-hand corner. So if you're in anywhere on the map apart from the bottom left-hand corner and the orange one's coming at you, you get within 8 tiles, it will try and escape down to the bottom left-hand corner. Right, and so it goes. This is going to be route 1 that you use on stage 1. I've got the picture of it on the right. You'll see the route it actually goes on the left-hand screen. So yeah, just basic, follow it out to the left, all the way along the bottom, and then just a zigzag pattern up, across the top, down in to get the cherry, up, down around that little loop, pick up the power pill, then eat ghosts. And then from here on, basically you can finish it off how you want to. You've got 3 power pills left over. I could have gone for that ghost then, but what I do here is just face left because it confuses the ghost AI a little bit, and just finish the level as you want. See there, they went into scatter mode, and they always do that at the same point there. If you follow the pattern, then go up that big long path, they'll go into scatter mode just before you get to the top. Back into hunter mode now. We're just going round, chilling out. Gosh, I don't think he eat all of them again. But yeah, that's route 1. Okay, so this is route 2. Again, route diagram shown on the right. So you start off pretty much the same as route 1. But at the end of the bottom there, you just jerk back on yourself, and then follow pretty much the same pattern as before. Up, down along the top, down through to get the fruit. And it looks like you're going to get killed there by Pinky. But there's enough room to make it. And then again, after you've eaten all the ghosts or right modes run out, face left here and it sends everybody the wrong way, or most of them apart from Bluey, and then finish off the level as you want. Easy, innit? And like I say, this works on level 2, 3 and 4, so just repeat this pattern and you can get the ghost better than I do. See there, they're in scatter mode. Gone back into chase mode now. Oh, I've lost my confidence here on this one. I'm going to go all over the place. Right, and then finish off. with the last power pill. Don't do it. Oh, did it? Managed to get it before he came out of frightened mode. Cool. So it's not max score or anything, but you know, pretty good. Right, last one to go, Route 3, and you can use this one all the way from stage 5 all the way through to stage 2, 5, 6 if you can get that far. So here it goes again, diagrams on the right. And this time, instead of going all the way to the right at the bottom, you sneak up through the middle. And honestly, it's way easier than it looks. It looks dead complicated when you look at that diagram. But if you slow this down, play it at half speed, whatever, you'll be doing it in no time. Now this bit's pretty good because you get down to the bottom, double back just before you hit it, scoop up those two, and then the fruit appears. And this kiss here, there you go, where you kiss Pinky to get them 2 dots. It's pretty good, and then from here on in, you're basically on your own. And you can repeat this all the way through, like I say, every single level from here to the end. The ghosts do go through phases, so on this phase, the frightened phase is over very quickly, so you've got basically no chance to catch up and run them all down. See, I died there because I'm an idiot. But that's basically it. So what I do now is put in a run, show you how far I can get, how high I can get. And I'm no god at Pacman. God no. But yeah, see how I do. Cool, so this is my actual run, putting everything together. Like I say, mainly based on the routes. And it's not to show you how to be good at Pacman, because I don't think I am good at Pacman. All I do is follow the routes and use a bit of the knowledge about the AI, and that's about it. So it's more to show you how not to be bad at Pacman. So I'll let this play out. I hope you've enjoyed it. The next video will be a shoot 'em up, promise. But yeah, talk to you in a bit. Cheers.